What do you reckon? Is it beer o'clock?
Oh, I think it's getting pretty close, mate.
I think it's beer o'clock.
Here we come.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Dickheads.
Yeah.
So we're back here in the old man's workshop,
Hey.
Payments Bay, South Coast, New South Wales. We're going to have a look at all these bits and pieces. We're going to pull apart some of his projects and show his test gear, all that kind of shit. Talk a bit about his electronic history. And hopefully not embarrass ourselves too much. So join us for the ride.
I built my first power supply with a 5Y3 rectifier. Parts recovered from old wrecked radios and stuff.
What was that, like a lab supply? Power supply?
No, it was just on one of the chassis. It was stripped.
And that was your first sort of project?
Yeah, and I stuck on the end of an extension cord out in the middle of the yard.
To start it up because you're afraid of it. Put the safety glasses on.
Yeah, and I had a small analog, I can't remember the model of it now, it was an analog multimeter. And,
what age were you around then?
About 14.
14, just
12, 14.
got started.
Yeah.
So how'd you learn about this stuff? Did
Just reading.
you read magazines, books?
RTV&H,
What was that?
radio, television, hobbies.
Okay, so that was a magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was that, monthly or?
Yeah, every month, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So that was sort of the precursor to like Electronics Australia and ETI.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So it was not particularly driven by RF?
No.
Okay, so it wasn't communications that you got into to start with?
When I joined the Air Force in 1966, I started with an apprentice.
That's my brother turning up. He decides to back up to the the garage.
Joined the Air Force in 1966. I was 16 as a radio apprentice, and spent the time in Melbourne doing the training. And from there I ended up going to a radar station in Brookvale.
All right.
Was there for a while.
So you got trained on the job?
No, it was all training at Lebanon.
Right.
In the Air Force, yeah.
Cool. I thought you just drank there. I didn't know you learned. I didn't think you did or learned anything.
As the years passed on, we drank plenty. Yes. Yeah. But
so did you keep doing the hobbyist stuff while you were employed full time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's something I must dig out is the wideband tuner and preamp, which is up there upside down and was out in the weather.
Mullard, yeah. I'll have a look at that.
I built Mullard stereo 510 valve amp. It was only come out as a mono. I made a dual channel.
Yeah.
And,
So we moved around a bit for better audio.
Yeah.
Where were we? We were talking about the Mullard. So was that your first big project? Was it the Mullard?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What was it? 5?
Well, no, not really. When I joined the Air Force, as I say, after being involved with playing around with old radios while I was at school, I was building. I actually ended up reproducing a couple of the old radios, which were someone gave me a box of all these bits and pieces.
Yep.
They pulled them apart.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, and then I got about 3 or 4 of them working.
There you
Put them all back together again.
You didn't give them back to them?
No.
Good.
I ended up selling those to mates in the Air Force that wanted a radio. Because back then radios cost you a few bob.
Yeah.
And all these radios I was building up from all these bits and pieces, I end up selling to these guys for, I don't know, back in those days, you'd go to the bar, this is when you were old enough.
Or maybe a little bit before that.
And they'd have 10 cent nights, 10 cents for a pot.
When we say pot, we mean...
It's 10-ounce glass.
It's 285 mils, is it, of beer?
Yeah, something like that.
So there's pots and pints in some states.
So
here in New South Wales, there's schooners and pints. So schooners are 4.25, I think, and pints are 5.60 something. I don't know. But it's measurements of beer.
Anyhow, some of these radios I sold, initially in '66, decimal currency didn't come in until I think it was end of January or February.
So you're around before decimal currency and before transistors.
Yeah.
Not to make you feel old or nothing.
Yeah. And once it changed to decimal currency, I was selling these radios to guys for bloody $5-10 each.
Sweet, that's pretty penny.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So from there, went through the training pretty well. There was a bit of a hiccup here and there, but I won't go into that. So once I left radio school, ended up going to Brookvale, to the radar station.
So Brookvale's RAAF.
RAAF,
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
It's not there anymore. I'm not sure how long. I think it's 1989 or 80 or 90 somewhere that they disabled the station there. It was a training station for the Air Force for the radar.
So as the technology progressed, they found it less useful.
Yeah, but I was only there for about a year. Then I got a transfer to Londonderry Transmitting Station, and I was working on 10 kilowatt Collins linear power amplifiers and old 5 kilowatt AM radios, transmitters, and
The kind that would melt your Mars bar in your pocket.
Yeah, they probably would. So, but yeah, after X amount of years in the Air Force, I got out in 1976, and then I went and worked for AWA for about 8 weeks.
AWA
in Sydney. Yeah,
so
Amalgamated Wireless
Australasia. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the brand of that radio, 500M.
Yeah. And in those days, it was pretty hard getting an electronics job because there was not much around, and it was that was just working in basically the end of a production line, fault finding and repairing bloody two-way radios.
Right. Is this production models or?
Yeah, production models.
Okay, so one's coming off the end of the production line.
It didn't work. They all had to be aligned and tested anyway.
Joint QC.
Yeah.
Right.
And the ones that didn't work, you had to fault find and find out what the problem was.
What was the sort of rough percentage of the ones that were fucked off the production line?
In the area I was at, they sent me all the dead ones.
Right, so 100%. Yep, well, that's how we continued today.
Yeah, but from there I was getting bored with that after about 8 weeks, and I said, no, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And I ended up changing industry into air conditioning.
Air conditioning, AC.
And become a bloody field service technician for a bloody air conditioning company.
Now, did you do a lot of Sparky work for that?
Or I worked with Sparkies, yeah.
So it was mainly mechanics that you did?
Yeah.
In that. So that's how you got your experience, with sort of the mechanical side of engineering.
I was rebuilding 8-cylinder carrier compressors and on site.
8-cylinder.
And rewiring 150 or start and control wiring boards for 150 horsepower motors, 100 horsepower motors, all sorts of refrigeration.
And you were afraid of a little 5-watt 3-power supply. And you're crawling in confined spaces with 10,000.
You'd go to a power board that had burnt up through a faulty contactor, and you had wiring as thick as your finger.
Yeah.
Probably 10mm diameter wire going back to the contact. It was just all burnt and melted. So you'd have to clean all that out to find out what caused it.
Oh, there's your problem. Yeah.
And it was all mainly loose connections and hotspots is what used to do.
Hotspots. Didn't have any infrared cameras back then. They've got it good these days, don't they?
So I stayed in that industry for about 7 years. Then moved back into electronics and instrumentation repair. Computers.
Yeah, well, tell us about the computer side.
Well, it was really just starting off in. I used to do component level repair on IBM PCs.
Well, that's about where I came in. Born in, what, 84?
Yeah.
Had to think about that.
Yeah.
So you were into computers as a hobby to begin with, or?
No, it just
was it part of your just
one of the
electronics
jobs.
engineering?
One of the jobs. One of the first few jobs I was at since I left the refrigeration was a company which was the Beckman service agent.
Right. Is that Beckman multimeters?
Yeah, Beckman meters.
Right.
And,
so test gear?
Yeah, test gear. Then moved to another company which was the Fluke agent in Australia. HP test equipment.
HP.
Yeah, high quality, really high quality stuff.
Mm.
From there, went to work for a computer company. And
Was that Computer Doctors?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I came in.
Yeah.
He was working at Computer Doctors. So
Yeah.
that was mainly, was it consumer computer stuff?
Yeah. And it was a sort
Small
of
business.
small business into getting into. They broached on networking.
Right. Well,
And,
the early, genesis of networking anyway.
So
what was about the state of the art when you joined up with them?
well, it was mainly just repairing PCs, power supplies, printers.
So what
Monitors.
What sort of generation of PCs are we talking? Like 286 or previous or
Just 86s.
8086?
8086 and then,
Right,
then
so that's the
286s
Intel chip.
and then 3 86s were coming out and
Yep.
but
And
then,
then I jumped in. I think my first computer that I had, that I think was a hand-me-down from, I don't know if it was one of your clients' computers that got decommissioned, but
it was
it was the 486 DX33.
no, that was
And
the
it was
first one was actually a
There was
portable.
the Zenith
No, it wasn't Zenith.
Z80 thing.
No, I can't think of offhand. But anyhow, it doesn't matter much.
Telly videos, and then there was that. I think that was I remember the Overdrive 486.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, I've got the Overdrive. It's got a heatsink on it. You know, like it's so powerful it needs a heatsink. Now look at them; they're like heat exchangers.
But yeah, from there, I got sick of being the shit kicker for someone who could see how easy it was to get things done, and we ended up starting our own business.
Yep.
And did that for 9 years, and then said, no, this is too hard.
Yeah. So that was 9 years. So you were working a little bit like I did from your home garage,
Yeah.
and a lot of site calls. Now you mentioned that the hardest part was doing the site calls and travelling,
for sure.
so, especially in Sydney.
Yep. Every day you get up in the morning,
Yep.
about 4 o'clock, get here, load the old patrol up with all the gear for get away no later than 6,
Yep.
and go and do all the drop-offs, and then you pick up more crap, go and do a couple of site jobs.
So this is all repair jobs, picking up and then dropping off.
Yeah, I developed a fairly good clientele, and we were sustaining a pretty good living from it. But it was bloody hard work. There's nothing like there's no such thing as easy money.
No, not unless not unless you have no morals.
Well, that was one of the things I've always been very ethical and moral there. But from there, I ended up leaving that job. Went to work for Epson Australia, and I was with them for about 8 years.
Hello, free inkjet cartridges for the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's when I first managed the workshop at Epsom in Francis Forest, then North Ryde. We had about 10 techs, and used to do all the warranty repair and walk-in repairs for Epsom products. So, yeah.
I think I popped my head into your workshop only once when you worked there, but yeah, big place.
And after that, I went to I left that and went to work in Queensland with one of my mates, who's another ex-Air Force mate.
Yep.
Had a business up in Burleigh Heads, and he had a contract with.
Maybe we won't talk about contracts. I can edit that out.
Yeah, working with on-site repair of laptops, of a particular brand.
Okay, of a particular brand. I think I know the brand.
Yeah, and did that up there for about 7 or 8 years. That seems to be the golden figure of staying with a job.
Yeah.
But,
the longest my magic number was 5 years. I couldn't stay with any company for longer than 5 years before they shipped me up the wall, so I'd leave.
But then he lost the contract, and he came back to. We came back to Sydney to carry on. I won't mention names, but won't.
A bit late there, isn't it?
And I ended up working there, managing, and once again setting up and managing a workshop with about 10 technicians. And,
so all during that, pretty much the last when did you start doing work for me. So I started off just as a luthier, basically. Well, not even a luthier, just a guitar tech. And anything electronics wise, I'd just pass on to the old man when I was picking up the guitars to repair. There you go. A bit late. I'll blur that one out. And he was the electronics repair tech, so he'd do all the amps and grew up on valves. So you know, he'd naturally valve amplifiers being the majority of serious guitar amps. He'd sort them out for me, and I'd play them and verify that everything sounded cool before he called up the customer and got him to pick it up again. And I'd do all the refrets and smash headstocks and all the guitar stuff, pick up replacements, all that. If it was guitar stuff like a blown speaker or, you know, damage to the input jack or a broken switch or something, I'd take care of that early on. But everything more advanced than that, I'd pass on to him. And, yeah, that was okay. Then the bastard moved away. And
oh, retired? That's
yeah, he retired. He's earned it. So then I still shoved work at him.
But I only worked for 51 years.
Oh, it's not long enough, mate. Sorry. What are you going to live to, 100?
I hope so.
That's only 50% of your life. That's bugger all.
Yeah, we'll see how far we go.
Yeah. But, yeah, building stuff's great. It's cool to see your passion for building stuff just doesn't die. You still like to have that first switch on with the extension cord out in the backyard. You don't still start amps up in the backyard, do you?
Oh, yeah,
maybe the Class D stuff.
If it's one of these things.
If it's a PV, yeah. You start the PV up with an extension cord, yeah. There's a high chance of flames.
No. Really rare to have flames.
But yeah, the computer stuff was good. I mean, pretty much everything that I got into was just the stuff that we had lying around, and I'd tinker with shit and blow up transistors and, and burn out LEDs and stuff, and you used to always tell me, don't go like a bull at a gate, don't get a bee under your bonnet, figure it out before you do it, and that's what I try to do. There we are. We've got a bunch of guitar amps, just that's the little
50. Oh, that's a little
5-watter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little champ. But what'd you use? What's the output valve in that?
EL84.
EL84, and you chucked a sort of like a vibro champ, was it?
Yeah.
With an EL84.
Yeah, and it's got a tremolo.
Yeah. So that's the rate and intensity there. What's that? You've got a single tube.
Single tube tremolo. Yeah.
And that was bias.
It was actually a 6BM8 driving
6BM8.
No, hang on, I'm thinking the reverb, which hasn't got that in that one.
Oh, you used to have a reverb in that, didn't
it was
you?
actually the circuit out of the, I think it was the circuit out of the Fender vibro champ.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one's a solid stator. That was was it 5210, was it?
Yeah, the Marshall 5210 plane.
Yeah. And that was all surface mount, wasn't it? Yeah. So.
Well, except for the power amp.
Okay. The power amp was one of those.
Same as Fender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rightio.
About 80 watts.
So that was one of those solid state modules?
Yeah. No, not a module, it's chassis build up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should have done my research. We'll crack them open and have a look a bit later. This is an old one he made for me in high school, and it's had several iterations, none this complex. It started life basically as a sort of 100-watt basement, wasn't it?
No, it was a 100-watt...
or a JMP or something? I know it was no master volume to start with.
2203.
Oh, was it?
The 2203.
Okay, because I thought we didn't have a master volume when we first built it back in high school.
Back then, I gutted it since I was disgusted with my slack work.
Yeah, it happens.
But yeah, that's a
100-watter.
Soldano front end.
You got 588 ones in there at the moment, don't
you? Either that or 6L6, I'm not sure. Yeah,
that's right. I remember getting you a few of them.
Yeah. But it's also got tremolo.
Yeah.
It's also got reverb and full slow front end.
So yeah, she's had a few reworks, this one, just as a bit of a experimental amp.
It's about where it's going to stay.
Yeah, but it sounds beastly. Putting out what, about 120 watts, wasn't it?
Yeah, around that.
And it's got the old diagonal replacement transformers that suit Marshalls from memory.
Mm-hmm.
Over here is a piece of shit PV, and that's just been a parts donor, I think. Didn't you? You got the power board working, didn't you?
No. Oh, shit, I'm not sure where I'm at with that.
Just like all PVs, goes on the shelf.
No.
Might be able to use the slider pots.
That's one of the ones which is blown up because of the...
the stupid power rail switching
yeah,
bullshit
yeah.
with that relay there, I think.
Yeah, with that little mod fixes it.
Yeah. The stupid dual rail setup that actually does the exact opposite of what PV planned, and that's why they blow up.
Yeah.
Anyway, down here we've got that. What is it? Class D? 500
no, that's a Class AB.
Oh, that's a Class AB. I thought you were in Class D.
It's got about 10 fets on the output stage.
Shit.
It's got an 800 VA transformer in it.
So that's a bass head.
Yeah.
It's got your EQ there.
Yeah. Parametric equalisers.
Yeah, parametric. So
And,
that's the frequency, then the small knobs at the tops, and then the plus minus at the bottom. So
yeah.
bit hi-fi for my liking.
It's also got a
It's got compression.
It's got a power amp for the compression driver, which you can shift the crossover frequency with.
It's a bi-amp. That's
yeah,
right.
Bi-amp, yeah. And that's the crossover frequency control.
That's a weapon. It's like a.
It's about, the bass amp will probably put in around. I've not fully tested it, but should be going about 500 watts into 2 ohms.
Yeah, in 2 ohms.
Yeah,
That amount of fets, I guess so. Yeah. Jesus.
And the compression driver amp is about 150 watts.
And what would one of your builds be without a laser printed front panel? Yeah, she's got her accounts though. And here's one I built in, God, was I even in high school then?
It didn't have the controls.
No, it was just a dumb power amp, 100 watt a channel, or 100-ish.
Yeah.
I think I did measure it once and it was putting out the full 100, but that was one of those.
101 channel, I think it's down to about 80 or something.
Because the power supply sag, yeah.
It's got a power supply out of an old televideo.
Yeah, that's right. televideo computer, the old pre-AT bloody PC.
Oh, no, it was actually a file server. It was
Right.
one of the television's first file servers.
Green screen things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one I built for my shitty little bands that I was in as a vocal PA. You'd run a mixer into it, and it was one of those silicon chip SC 480 kits or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Or ETI 480?
ETI 480.
I think the SC was upgraded, had more modern outputs instead of the
But it's just,
TO3s or whatever they were.
I claimed it instead of being thrown in the bin.
Yeah.
Put a little bloody preamp in it.
Oh, it worked fine. It didn't sound the best, but it worked okay.
I just use it for playing music.
I just used it for fallback in the rehearsal room, but anyway.
Yeah.
And that's Uncle Bill's old power supply, isn't it?
Was his old ham
radio. Was that
power supply,
13.8 volt?
Something like that, yeah.
1 million amps.
Yeah. But, I think it was 40 amp.
Ah, okay.
But,
It's got a 32 amp breaker there.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
Yeah. But yeah, apart from that,
yeah, well, up here we've got a Bryston, which is actually one of the jobs through Brad's Guitar Garage that Dad's taken on. And it's a long-term project. The guy's not in a mad rush for it, so we'll just get the old man rebuild that because it looks like a fucking nightmare. So you can deal with it. There's my old Mickey Mouse radio. That was my first radio that I owned. Still works. That's just AM, isn't it? Yeah, just AM training radio.
Leafy Ducks.
That's one I got for the old man. I think I got that for you when you turned 60, I think it was, because I wanted to buy something that still worked that was older than you to make you feel not so old.
That's about a 50. I think I'm older.
It was a 52 or 51, I think.
I was born in 50, so it's about the same age.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think it was 40s, because they were the Empire State ones, and that were 40s. Well, I think even they were late 30s, early 40s, weren't they? Yeah. But yeah, that's an AWA Radiolet 500M. I think it's a 500M.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the 516 looks the same. So that one, that's working, isn't it?
It does work,
yeah. But did that have the original caps?
Did have. I think.
You've changed them out.
I've changed. I can't remember how far I went.
I thought you were saying that the other day that you still have the original caps in it. I'm like, oh yeah. There's a great book. Is that UK?
No. Probably.
Radio engineers. So that's the.
I went into Dick Smith's one day.
Reference.
And when he was having one of his crap sales on
Dickie Smith's.
In his bin sales as you walked in the door.
Yeah.
I got for $10.
$10.
And about 3 blokes tried to grab it in front of me.
Oh yeah, did you punch on?
No, I said it's fine.
Did you fucking headbutt him? Oh, there's your old frequency counter too. Yeah. Was that a kit?
Yeah. No, I built the boards, I think.
Yeah, wow. That's cool. A couple of random boards off bass amps and shit over here, and there's all these parts racks.
Yeah.
He does the same as me. He mixes the power ratings in the same drawer because we don't have a billion drawers. We're not fucking millionaires, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm only doing it as a hobby. I'm not
Got the
not full on like you, Brad.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't call my setup full on. He's got his Dremel 3000 on the press there for the circuit boards. Tiny little holes there for his hand laid out boards. And he's gotten on the KiCad now, which is cool. He's moving on up.
I've been doing KiCad for a long time.
Oh, probably longer than me now.
Yeah, probably.
Mini Watts Electronics Handbook. So that's a very handy bunch of
Useless information.
data sheets. Yeah. Just a little book of data sheets. Yeah. That's awesome.
We've been carrying it around for about 60 years.
Yeah, she's in pretty good nick. Still got the original binding on it. Yeah. Look, I thought that was gaff tape for a minute, but it's not. Yeah. This one though, it has some better days, isn't it?
Yeah, that was Uncle Bill's.
Yeah, is that the Radiotron?
Yes.
Right. So yeah, it's the
genuine.
The Bible of tube stuff. All the ham guys had them back in the day. Radiotron Designer's Handbook. It's available on PDF these days. You can download it. I think it's, I don't know how legal that is, but it's out there. So you can get that online. It's pretty easy to find. So I'm just making a mess as we go through. There's the meat smoking book, which is more important than those books. We used that yesterday. Smoked a brisket and some turkey. Stromberg Carlson. Now that's one fully functional now, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
There's not much in the way of AM stations down here, though.
Yeah, reception's not brilliant here, but that thing does have pretty good reception from what I remember. Yeah. It's pretty sensitive from what we were saying. Yeah. A couple of little bookshelf speakers, which I think one of my customers just were going to throw in the bin. A slow clone. Yep. That one is a preamp. Yep. So it's got a cute little choke there.
Same front end as in the
slow 100.
In the 100.
Yeah.
And the same as in this one.
You got a few mods there. A Haynes mod. What's that do again?
It cuts back I think it switches out a boost cap, high frequency boost cap.
Oh, like a right cap.
Yeah, right cap.
So
and there's one of my circuit boards.
We'll bring it over on the bench. Have a look.
Yeah.
Right, so that's one of your boards you laid out. You did that one in KiCad, did you?
Yes.
Okay, so nice and modern. Yep. And you etched that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you printed it on what, toner transfer paper?
No, I used a negative resist.
Yeah.
And
photoresist.
and exposed it with a UV lamp.
Yep.
And
shit.
Developed it.
So you're about on the same level of technology as Mesa Boogie then?
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, they've got a silk screen.
Yeah.
Yours is hand drawn, just like their silk screen's hand drawn, but theirs is a silk screen, so they've one up you there.
That's hand drawn with KiCad.
Well, I mean the writing.
Oh yeah. I didn't like that.
That's cool. You got your ground plane on there as well.
Yeah.
Is that the single tube reverb drive and send? So what tube was that against? 12?
It's a 6BM8.
6BM8.
Yeah.
Right. Is that a production valve still?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah. They still get them new stock?
Yeah.
Cool. That one's a new old stock though, I assume.
Oh yeah.
A little humble power supply over there. It's got a line filter. You love line filters, eh? Don't want the Zellweger tones getting into your signal, which is only a thing in Australia and New Zealand. Look it up.
Yeah. A little choke.
Yeah, cute little choke, isn't it?
Yeah.
About the size of a ping pong ball.
Yep.
See what they do with them in Thailand.
But it goes very well.
Yeah, Hammond.
I can't.
Tranny. Which power transform is that?
369 JX.
JX, yeah. Cool. All shielded preamp valves.
Yep.
Rock and roll. Have to fire that up later. I'd like to try it through a solid state amp, see what it sounds like too.
We can do it.
But we could chuck it in the effects return of one of your valve thingies.
Yep.
So here's another two radios which I picked up on eBay. Just like, I don't know, I think they're $100 or something. And that's another Stromberg Carlson, similar to this one. I think they're slightly different models though.
It's got a shortwave band.
Yeah, you can see the coils there. It's got extra coils. It's got shortwave. It's got the original capacitors, made in Australia. Yeah, imagine making caps in Australia now. They cost about $50 each, I think. Probably more. There's another one down there. They've all got to be pulled out. I think they're actually replacements already. You can see a bypass cap down there, another one there probably. That one's cracked. I saw on the thing somewhere, on the body somewhere before when we had better lighting. And that's another 500M. That's another one of these little buggers, because I just think they're really cute. I think they're very aesthetically pleasing. That's their boxes down there. Bakelite. Again, got to do a recap on that. It's got the original caps there. They look cool, but no es bueno. So they'll be coming out. We'll see. A lot of these resto jobs, you've found the valves are still in pretty decent nick so far, haven't you? Yeah, they don't get worked too hard. I'm not trying to get a maximum power of anything out of them like Fender did.
Well, they're fairly. Oh no, they don't generate a lot of heat in the RF valves.
It's not something that gets turned on all day anymore either. Oh, I missed one. That's your little pedal.
Oh, that's a little
dual pedal.
Yep.
Univox Super Fuzz and Shoot the Moon Trem. So that's 2 pedals in one.
Yep.
And I noticed you just got. Are they just SP, ST?
They're just momentary.
Yeah.
And it's all toggled with flip flops inside.
Yeah.
Once again, it's all surface mount.
Yep.
Want to have a look at it?
Yeah, crack it open. Why not? And we'll go over this crazy thing in a minute. And the story behind it. He's got somewhat more of a bling and paste setup than mine. He's got a little bit more bells and whistles on his. He's got the tweezers here. SMD rework tweezers. They're handy to have when you're doing mass recaps of surface mount boards.
Yeah.
And you watch the little caps explode as you pull them off.
Also got the PLCC.
Yeah, you got the serious gear.
Yeah.
So you come from a history of doing computer stuff basically.
Yeah, computer stuff.
And back when you could fix computers.
Yeah. Used to do that.
Yeah.
And the normal.
Let me just change out that 286 that's soldered to the board.
Yeah.
That's the same iron as mine, same extractor. So I've basically got this unit from here. Oh shit! From here over.
Yeah.
Except I've just got the analog one, not the digital. So he's just got to one-up me on everything, don't you?
Well, I've only had that since about 2000. No. About what was it? 1995. Something like that.
Yeah, I remember. What did you have before that?
The earlier model.
Oh, okay, that was the blackface one, wasn't it?
I think it was basically. it was the same as yours.
Yeah, that was the blackface era.
Yeah,
It sounded cooler than the silver faces, eh?
Yeah.
I'll just go over his test gear while he's taking that apart. Where'd you get a circuit for that one? Was that a?
I just dug it up. I couldn't remember thinking about it, so I just found one.
That's a
Duplicated it.
just dual power supply DC.
With current limit.
It's got voltage adjust. Current limit's handy. So that just, for anyone wondering, that just drops the voltage when the current exceeds your limit. And he's got his little tie points there made up out of the banana connectors.
Yep.
Banana plugs. It's just to tie the ground to the whichever rail.
There we go.
It's set up there as a bipolar supply. There's a little chucha. So you folded that chassis in your bench vise, didn't you?
Sold it, painted it.
A bit of alley. The old brother labels. That's another surface mount board there.
Not very dense, though.
So not everyone's afraid of surface mount. You see the etching there. So what's this silver stuff you put on it?
That's liquid tin.
Liquid tin, right?
Yeah. You get that from,
I knew that, I'm just asking.
Yeah. Nice clean copy I put into it, and
oh yeah, MG Chemicals. Yeah. Right, so you just brush that on, or
no? You put it in a bath, just a little bath, so that you submerge the board into it.
How long does that take to plate?
About a minute.
Is that it? Yeah, right.
Maybe 2 minutes.
So that just stops the copper going corroded and manky over time, and just makes it look a bit more professional.
You haven't even sprayed that one, whereas like in the Soldano front end, that was
just conformal coat.
Conformal coat.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but she's a pretty busy little box, that one.
Here's a bit.
Tremolo works beautifully.
We'll fire it up later on and have a listen.
Yeah.
So back to this thing. Now this is a big fuck you to Fender. Look at Look at the screws right through the logo. So if anyone's familiar with the Super Champ XD, you'll know that it's got a valve output stage. I believe it's got a valve phase inverter from memory, was it? Yeah. But that's the only valve parts, isn't it? Yeah. Or it might have one at the front end too, did it?
I don't think it has.
No, just op-amp front end. Yeah. But essentially the thing's a big DSP, basically a digital amp, but with a valve output stage, which
all your EQ's controlled by the DSP as well. So
everything's digital,
when the DSP shits itself, nothing works.
Yeah, and that board, that circuit, that all the parts, the microprocessor with the programming on it, all of that's obsolete now. So the amp's basically a throw-out device once that fails. So what we did is semi-gutted it. And
what we did?
Well, I gave it to you. And Dad did. Semi-gutted it and saved the output stages and rebuilt the front end to be all valve. Chucked the reverb tank in there because all the reverb and everything was previously digital. And yeah.
Right back.
So what we might do is crack it open and give you a look, and then we might fire it up and have a listen. Got a little bit of extra shit going on here. That's the original output tranny. Original power tranny, additional power tranny. So that one's the...
It's mainly just by the heaters for...
right.
All the heaters are regulated on the front end.
You mean rectified?
Rectified and regulated.
Regulated as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus. That's getting excited.
Yeah. There's the reverb input.
Yep.
And or reverb tank in and out.
Right, and that was, yeah, that's aftermarket, obviously.
Yeah.
Previously that was digital. And, what, 2 mismatched output valves?
Yeah, and they still give it 18 watts.
Oh, it sounded great before. Yeah. What are they?
They're real old stuff.
So that's, looks like a...
It's a Philips.
Radiotron.
Yeah.
Huh. And a Philips.
Yeah.
And an old Fender, whatever brand made them. I think they're Electro-Harmonics or something.
This?
No, the one back here.
That one there, yeah.
The phase inverter.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's the phase inverter. Yeah.
Is that a new belt and socket in there, or that's the original?
No, it's the original.
All of these are new holes.
Yeah,
New
all new holes. Yeah.
Yep.
And on the underside, we have.
I'll bring the light over.
Yeah, I'll just fit this up on those.
There we go.
That way.
The old dance of the blocks.
Yeah.
I do that dance every day. So here's where the fuck you Defender. I love this. It's just a funny ass thing. See all those traces cut there. Just ran a fucking... What'd you do on a bandsaw? Was it? Just ran a fucking bandsaw straight through the board.
It works out where I could make the cut.
Had a few connections here that continued through. I think those 2 traces there continue, and that's it.
Yeah. There's 2 there continue, and the rest
of them don't. Yeah. Yeah. So you just utilise the back end.
Yeah.
There as a separate thing.
And here we have another full Soldano slow front end.
Oh, that's a slow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I had a lot of game when I played it before.
Yeah.
What's this little board down here?
That's a reverb driver.
Solid state send and return.
Yep.
Yeah. You got a couple of optos down there. That's
for your Soldano channel.
Soldano, yeah.
And here we've got...
where'd you find these resistors?
Just ordered them off probably RS or something like that.
Because they're the ones that are in Mesa Boogies. They're that weird sort of...
Oh, this is what these ones are.
Yeah, they're the...
Yeah, they're all 1%.
Yeah, right. What brand are they? Pyre or something?
Could be Vichy.
I should know this stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were. But this sounds exactly the same as that one. Sounds exactly the same as that. Sounds exactly the same.
they're all the
identical.
circuit,
just different circuit board for each one.
And that's your trem down there, is it? Separate board.
That's the trem, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's a busy little thing. But hey, it works now. Couldn't make it work with Fender because...
You were pretty impressed with it. I can't play guitar yet.
DSP was fun. Yeah, well, you're working on it. Is your, what's that, your bias network down there?
That's probably the filaments.
That's using some...
That's the filaments.
What's is that for the voltage adjust, that trim pot?
Yeah.
That's the...
because there's the filament supply.
Anyone going, oh, look at that hack work. This is kind of a running joke amp. So basically...
performs unbelievably.
We wanted to run a bandsaw through the fucking board
Yeah.
and then make it work again as a bit of a joke. And it sounds amazing. We'll fire it up later. And that's got the same momentary bypass, FET-driven bypass on the trem.
Yep.
And that's the original filtering and everything there.
Yep.
So there you go. There's
That's
some,
what you can do when you get
filtering
one
over
of
here.
those shit boxes that don't work.
And a bandsaw.
No, man, sorry.
Heavily modified Fender Super Champ XD. Basically now a Soldano. So just running through the gain, that's so that's the amount of gain on channel 1. Hit crunch, get a bit more. That's probably enough for me in most times. That's like the full-on clean. Still gets a bit dirty there past about 7. This is the Shawbucker humbucker, so a little bit more output than usual. That's the master volumes there. So we're going to the overdrive. It's got no effect then, the crunch switch. No. That's a great tone there, eh? So that's just with a stock speaker. Tremolo. Mislabeled, I might add.
Yeah.
It's alright, just throws off the... So that's like the intensity. That's the shape. The more left you turn it, the more square wave it is. Turn it right, it's more of a triangle wave here. Yeah.
It's pretty like a modulated envelope actually. It's quite nice.
Like a sine wave?
Yeah.
Okay. Very slow.
Go faster.
That's at 12 o'clock. Flat out. It's almost AM. Let's see what the output stage does. Probably clipping the shit out of the camera. let's not forget reverb. Is this the short tank you got in there, eh?
Yeah.
Test gear, we've got a BK Precision 4010 function generator. It's just you don't really use that for anything other than audio, do you?
Yeah,
it's not.
You can actually use it to tune your, in combination with my frequency counter.
Yeah.
You can actually use it to tune the AM radios.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you use it for a bit of RF stuff as well.
It's not modulated, but you see the RF when it's coming in, it's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
And then you can just tune for the peak on the AFC line.
Yeah, cool.
AGC line, sorry.
I don't know much about RF. That's black magic to me.
Yeah.
One day.
That's a Western, very old.
Yeah, digital multimeter.
Yeah.
She's still chooching. Ranger. It's like it knows me. No AC. Yeah, dead set. It's hot as today.
Really?
Cool. Kikasui, you've had this thing forever.
Yeah, I bought that about the same time as my first pace soldering station.
Yeah, 60 megahertz.
Yeah, she still goes good.
I like that light, the back light.
Mm.
I don't think my HP has that. Not HP, I'm not fucking rich. I don't think my Tektronix has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks cool.
There we go.
There's a nice little waveform there.
Bit of stray hum floating around from the dummy load.
From the Chucha.
Yeah.
Down there. He's got it like me, he's got his dummy load set up there. What are they, 8 ohm?
Yeah, 8 or 4.
8 or 4, depending how you wire them.
Or 16 if you want it.
It's heats up that shelf nicely.
Yeah.
And
Keeps you
another
tuned.
one which I saw someone else
Beckman?
someone else online had recently, it was pretty impressive, the old Beckman multimeter.
Old Beckman 3030.
Yeah.
True RMS meter.
Yeah, they were one of the first true RMSs, if I remember correctly.
I don't know, but this one here is a true RMS as well.
Yeah.
But,
Nice one. And there's all the hand tools, all the boring stuff. Yeah.
And what else we got over here? I've got a Mega. Dustin's one LCR meter.
Got his cheapy LCR meter.
It works very well.
What was this worth?
I think it's about 70 or 80 bucks at Wes.
Yeah. LT. Oh, Lutron. Yeah. You've heard of them.
Yeah. It's actually, if you use, what is it? Frequency response software.
Arta?
Arta.
Yeah.
If you use Arta with the test jig for measuring resistance, inductance, and whatever,
Yep.
it's highly accurate. And this is equal to it.
Just a confirmation, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's good.
And then you've got your Mega.
Yeah, Omega. I've had that for a lot of years too.
Koryutsu. So this, I used to like playing with this as a kid.
Yeah.
Because you could shock yourself and you could shock your brother.
You always keep your batteries out of it so you don't have all corrosion and stuff.
Yeah, I try to tell people that shit with guitar preamps, but they just keep putting them in and leaving them in.
Yeah.
I had some batteries dated 2003 the other day. It was 1 year after I was out of high school.
Yeah. This one will give you 1,000 volt.
Alright, you want to shock my hand?
Hang on, just I
Go on.
haven't got the batteries in it.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Saved.
pretend.
Saved.
Yeah.
You're too organised.
No.
This is some CNC machined 18mm birch ply boxes, which I made, God, 7 years ago or something, 8 years ago, when I started getting real excited about building stuff. You build your first valve amp and it works, and you get really excited, so you cut heaps of shit. So I had a few leftover cabinets. I think I cut the cabinets, God, probably would have been like 10 years ago, something like that. But yeah, I had a few spares just in flat packs, just sitting there in the old garage, and thought I'd knock a few together and just have them ready to build something out of if I desired. We've got a steel Hammond box in there. You can see the powder coat on there.
You go with that.
Yeah, ubiquitous little cheapo cap knobs. Seem to be on everything.
Yeah.
Just thin basic grill cloth. Can't get it off one-handed. Trying try turning the lights off. Sometimes that helps. We've got an old roller driver down there. Little.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's an 8-inch of something.
10 watt something. El Nico.
Yeah.
That's Australian brand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Roller.
Yeah, roller. Yeah.
They were in all the radios and
Yeah.
well, not high fires, medium fires from the
It's
time.
a repaired, recovered apple tree.
Oh yeah, she's seen some shit, man. You know it's a good specimen when it's covered in masking tape. Teflon wire coming out so it won't melt. There's your little. Well, there's a bit of metallisation happening there on the outside.
With that.
So she's gotten a bit warm at some point, probably.
But, what
The EL 84.
Yeah.
You can see that that plate's opened up a bit on the end there too. I wonder if that was from factory or not. But it works. It's a Hammond power tranny there.
That's someone you gave me.
Yep, one I had floating around.
Yeah. Get it out and let you have a look.
Yeah, we'll crack her open and give you a geese. On a side note, that was my first car, a hand-me-down. That was when we flooded it. It was petrol. Petrol cars don't like being in water up to their windows.
Didn't kill anything.
And that's Dad sitting on top making a phone call on his old analog mobile phone to get reception, to get us dragged out. Eventually we gave a case of beer to a guy with a better four-wheel drive than us to drag us out, and pulled it out, took the spark plugs out, turned her over, and 6 jets of water fired out the side of the fucking motor. And we put the spark plugs back in, and then a jet fired out the exhaust of water. We limped it home on, I think, 3 or 4 cylinders.
No, it was working all 6 by the time we got going.
By the time we got moving, yeah. But
It had half a tank of water.
half a tank of water in the fuel tank.
Yeah.
And she never smelled the same since.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned how to do donuts in that thing. It was good fun. She died of rust. So back to the amp.
Yeah.
This is a little 5 watt Vibro Champish thing with an EL84 output.
Oh, no. That was actually the 6X4 you're looking at.
Oh, is it? Oh, that was. Oh, you've rectified it. Yeah, okay. Rectified it. Yeah, so that's a rectify valve. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm one beer in and I'm already talking bullshit. So that's what brand's that bastard? Who knows? Plugged it in and it works.
Yeah. That one's very.
What happens is the writing just wears off them when it gets to a certain age. It's a Brymar,
Yeah.
old bugger. And that's the trem driver, isn't it?
That's the 84s is the trim.
That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the lens is over here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, flip her over.
Hang on.
Oh, that's the Hammond 260C.
Yeah. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, just don't pop that top.
Now the block of wood. We're getting there. There you go.
Just edit shit like that out later.
Yeah.
Alright, so there she is. Tag strip construction. Looks like a Vox style tag strip, sort of.
RS components.
RS, yeah. Well, you know, it's got the same sort of proportions as the Vox boards. Got those ceramic sockets down there. A line filter again. You love those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot to it, even with the trim. We've got a little bugger here.
Yeah.
Little 5 watter. So here's 100 water. Got the diagonal trannies there, 307 output, T58 power.
With the original masking tape around.
Yeah. And speaker outputs, HT fuses. What, you got one per side?
They're in the cathodes.
In the cathodes, okay. Yeah. So that's just to blow if one of the valve shorts.
Yeah.
And tetrode slash triode switch for a lower power setting, effects loop, and mains and HT fuse. Little choke there. What's that? 4 Henry?
That's for the it's 4 Henry for the Soldano front end.
Yep. Got 4 6L6s in there at the moment, electro harmonics, and fuck knows what preamp valves. Got the old LCR caps, which are probably due for replacement.
They're fine.
They've never they've barely been used though.
They've done no work.
It's just like, what are they, 97? Yeah, 97 and 96.
Got the little
Yeah, barely used. It's not exactly a gigging amp, so it's not mission critical. Yeah, that's the thing with the stuff. You got this chassis welded up too, didn't you?
Yeah, Lee made it up.
Yep. That's my uncle, ex-sheet metal worker, retired now. Folded up and migged the corners.
Yeah, I actually use Oxy, think now. Back in
Oxy?
those days, yeah.
What is this, steel?
No, Ellie.
He used Oxy for Ellie.
Yep.
There you go.
He's very good.
It's a bit fancy. Guts. Is that another slow clone preamp? You love those things, don't you?
Yeah.
Got a bit of shielding there. Is that the bottom?
That's the bottom output training.
So you're getting oscillations
I
with
was
it?
getting it, and that
Right.
from the so.
Come from the outputs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got your 1 ohms there on the cathodes.
Yes.
Bias sense.
Yeah.
Tag strip again.
Yeah.
Bit going on in there.
Yeah, you got the tremolo and reverb on this board.
Yep.
And phase splitter there.
There you
go. Oh, actually, no, that's the phase splitter there. I think from memory. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Take your word for it.
Yes.
Where do they go? Go under the board.
Yeah, they go into
Yeah.
to that board. This one's the tremolo. Tremolo caps there. And
You got bias per side there, do you, on the trim pots?
Yeah, yep.
Nice Fichet cap there on the bias supply, 100 mic.
Yeah.
And they're those Avatco caps, aren't they?
Yeah.
The axials.
Yeah.
Oh. So there you bloody go. Oh, do I spy homemade optos?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's for the switching as well, is it?
That was before I got these buggers.
Right.
Where I put them.
And they work alright?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just leads and LDRs.
Yep. Oh, let's fire this one up and I'll try to remember some riffs too. It's hard after a week of drinking to remember how to play anything, but I'll try. Right, so working our way over. We've got the foot switch plugged in, so that switch does nothing. That switches between the channels, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
If you operate the foot switch, leave it in OD.
Yep. Yeah, that switches between, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So that's, we're on the normal channel. That's the gain. Just pushing in overdrive a little bit there, I'm maxed out. Then you switch over to crunch. A bright cap, I'm assuming, on the front end? Yeah. That's all the EQ set at midway. the gain we got on tap on the normal.
You got the crunch there, though.
Yeah, we're on crunch.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are?
Yep, so we'll flick over to the overdrive. That does nothing there. Bright cap's still there, is it? Or is that only on the clean? That's only on the clean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Normal.
You'll have to...
Got a bit of hum there because I'm standing right next to it.
Yeah.
So we've got a depth and a presence. Turn the presence all the way down. All the way up. Takes the head off. Depth all the way up. Don't know how much bass that phone's picking up, but say midway. Set into midway again. Got some reverb. We might go back to the normal channel for that. All the way up. It's like a 6-second decay there. Send that down a bit. Yeah, pretty full on reverb. Turn that off for a tick. Go to tremolo. So there she is. She's running through a pair of, what are they, rollers as well?
Yeah, Plessy rollers.
Plessies.
12 PEG 50s.
Yeah,
No,
so
20s.
they're copping it a bit from this amp because it's a 100 watt amp. What are they, 15 watts each?
20 watt RMS.
20 each.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's 40
we're-
watts on triode.
We're not pushing the power amp anywhere near its capability, but yeah, it's measured at about 120 watts RMS output. So yeah,
But in the triode mode, it's only 40.
right. The 5210 clone because he's an absolute madman. Surface mount boards. I'll show you that in a tick. Boost channel, normal channel, master volume and reverb, channel B.
Yeah.
So that's normal channel A, boost channel A, and channel B. And that's the inputs because they're separate inputs. And there's a foot switch to switch between them. So let's have a quick look inside, then we'll fire it up. Starting from the power side, we've got another line filter there. Because what's one of your builds without a line filter, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Switch on delay board. Jesus, you've done some modification to that. What's that all about?
I can't remember now.
So I'm assuming that 2 relays, so that would have been for a stereo amp, and you only populated one because it's a universal board.
Yeah. I've documented it somewhere.
Yeah, that's the power amp.
Yeah.
And what's this little opto down? Oh, is that an opto?
Where?
What am I looking at? Down here.
No, that's a choke in the upper.
Oh, it's a choke,
Just
right.
a, what do you call them? Thingo filter.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see the lead going in there. So that's the output filtering.
Mm.
You've got your emitter resistors there. Working your way along. Yep. And that's the board up the front for the preamp.
It's one of the preamps, and that's the other one.
Oh, they're separate boards.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it just kicked out there, but you can see the join there, yeah.
That was very early kike head stuff. And,
yeah, so this is one of your first, eh?
Yeah, and surface mount, but...
a few little touch-ups to the traces there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the clipping diodes, because it's got diode clipping stages for the distortion.
Yeah.
And that's your bipolar power supply.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Simple.
But effective.
I think, from what I remember, I think it works all right.
Alright, so this is the 5210 clone. It's sort of 2 amps in one, I guess. You've got like a 2-channel amp up to there. And then this is just like its own independent channel, which I guess you'd use it if you had like a keyboard or something, or acoustic, yeah, or if you had just like all your sounds were derived from your pedals, so you just wanted a basic preamp, EQ, and master volume. So that's completely clean. Over here you got channel A, so we're going into normal channel A at the moment. Which you could think of is like your clean channel. Starting to break up there a little. I think that's still got diode clipping on it, doesn't it? Yeah. That's everything, all the EQ set at 12 o'clock. With the gain maxed out, or volume it's called here, but it's got another master volume. If you want to clean it up. Very neutral, sort of solid state tone. You flick over to the boost channel, turn the master down a bit. You're in like, you know, tube screamery, overdrive pedal type territory. So yeah, and a bit of reverb as well. Very long decay on that one as well. Bit of a darker sound, very ambient. There you have it. Foot switchable as well. That's his, didn't show that before, that's his little universal do everything foot switch. Bit of wood in there.
Bit of
plywood, spare sheet metal, bit of spray paint. Couple of switches and away you go.
Yeah.
That's how you do it in the garage.
It works.
Here's the homemade chassis. Give it a bit of a dust. You spent about 3 days on the drill press there.
Same with the
Same on the other end. So he's one side power supply, the other side's
This is Fender system.
okay. What I'm saying is that's the amp module over here, is it?
Yep. This is the big amp module. That's
Right. Oh, that's the tweeter
compression
module.
one.
Right,
Yeah.
gotcha. So we'll crack it open and have a look at the guts. Bit of a forest of filter caps down there. And the output devices.
There's 10 of them, 10 FETs.
10 FETs. What? Do you know what model they are off the top of your head?
IRF 292.
Can't make it out there.
No, I can't remember.
IRF something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
good.
your bipolar supply down there.
Yeah. No, that's the supply for the other. That's the bipolar for the front end. Once you
Well,
get
they're all bipolar, you know what I mean, but
yeah,
for the front end, yeah.
all surface mount at the front end.
Yep. And what's this big resistor there? Is that a surge limiter?
Surge limiter, yeah.
Yep, so that's
yeah,
switched by a relay down here, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah,
That's got its own power supply down there too, does it?
No, it's own board, yeah.
That's the delay set up there.
Yep.
Wow.
And there's a fan controller there, so that when it sends the
fan controller board.
and the this whole section is like a duct.
Yep.
Blows
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
you got the blower fan
Blows
there.
up through the heatsink and out the side.
Yep. The what do you call it? Circumferential. I forget the word. Centrifugal.
Centrifugal fan. Yeah.
We've killed those brain cells.
Yeah.
And the preamp boards.
Yeah. And there's Chinese inboard over there.
Oh yeah, that's an eBay jobby, is it?
Yeah.
What's that? 100 watt?
That'll give 150 watts with this supply.
With this supply, right?
Yeah. So
Couple of big
same
blue
fits
bastards.
the same fits there as in here actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, hand etched boards printed from what, KiCad in this one?
Yeah, KiCad,
designs, mostly surface mount, combination of surface mount and through hole, and double-sided boards.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do some pretty cool stuff in a garage if you set your mind to it. So what's this bar here? That's just stiffening.
Yeah, that's just a bit of stiffness front and back, and also to keep the
run the wires.
leads away from.
Keep them nice and
Power
straight.
on, yeah.
Cool. And a monster transformer there, about the size of my head.
800 VA transformer. Bit overrated, but it's it'll never get hot.
Yeah, ain't no kill like overkill. I'm not going to try this one out, partially because we don't have a speaker that can take it to its full output, and because bass sounds shit on phones. So, yeah. That's it. Got the guts of the Class D bass amp. His goal here was to put all the jacks except for the power and the speaker on the front, so you could use it as like a rack mountable unit. Big ass linear power supply again. Huge
500 VA.
Huge transformer.
Sorry, 625.
Got an NTC down there instead of the switchable surge resistor as in the other one. And more handmade boards. So that there is his power supply. So just a couple of filter caps. You got some regulation happening down there for the, or is that the bridge race?
That's all for the front end.
Right. Okay. So that's
front end. That's the main rectifiers for the power module.
Right, and that's your output caps down there for your output stage. Fusing happening there. Yeah. And you got some monster inductors. Shit, what did they cost you?
Believe it or not, about $15 each.
Yeah. Still, probably one of the most expensive single components in the whole amp, though.
Their aim is to. They're actually flat copper.
Yeah, you can see it's a
and that's aimed at getting the minimum impedance that they can. They can rustle up for that size inductance.
Wound flat bar.
It's 0.01 of an ohm or some bloody thing.
Right. And you got the output device under there. Is it a single device?
Yeah, yes, single
so it's
device.
Monolithic.
Yep.
I see.
Oh, hang on, no. This is a fuck.
Can I look it up now?
It's the 8954.
Oh, it's written down here.
It's a single device, but it's got 2 channels.
Okay,
and
right. It's bridge tied load, right?
Bridge
okay,
tied load.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And again, handmade, hand etched preamp board down the front for the front end.
Yeah.
What's this little
It's a
chooch
DI
in there?
board.
That's a DI output,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And a line filter.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah. So that's only got a pretty small heat sink there.
Yeah.
I want to punch a vent in this thing somewhere.
No, don't need it.
Don't need
It's cool as a crab.
Okay.
And,
Pretty efficient, the old Class D.
even running flat out, it's it does get warm, but you know,
if you're running it under
If
sustained load.
if you're running continuous sine wave, you probably only keep it up for a matter of minutes.
Hand folded again.
Yeah.
Did you use your folder for that, or just
Handmade folder.
Handmade folder? Rock and roll. Yeah, eBay jobbies, eh?
Yeah.
But now modified.
It was very cheap. It was only about $40, I think.
Yeah.
And
It's ridiculous what they sell them for,
but
eh?
running at the rails, I've got listed there. You were struggling to get 100 watts out of it per
Yeah.
channel, and
So how'd you change that?
mainly increase the size of these caps
Yep.
for filtering. Increase the increase the physical size of these filter coils. That's your low pass filter, which gets the audio through and
Yeah.
blocks off most of the HF.
So they just cheaped out on the copper there, did they?
And they had tiny little bridges in here.
Ah, right.
And you can't feed it with AC now because I've taken them off, and just it would be a direct plug into this module.
Right, so they had a pissy power supply on there basically,
yeah.
and then now these caps just offer a bit more filtering.
That was standard, but the bridges are only rated about 4 amps or something.
Yeah.
So it's just piss work.
So it's a little bit optimistic, their ratings, but hey, that's eBay.
But after the mods I did to it, it's given me, as I say there, about 300 watts.
Yeah. I did read an article in Silicon Chip, I think it was, about all these modules. They bought like 10 of them on eBay, compared them all, and found that just things like the inductors weren't anywhere near what they were supposed to be, and
That's
all that.
right.
Everything was just a complete, whatever they had in the pile, they just chuck it in. And if it gives you signal at all, consider yourself lucky.
This is another one of my boards.
So that's one you made.
Yep.
So a lot of people don't play with surface mount, they don't play with Class D.
Yeah.
You said, fuck it, hold my beer, I'm going to make both from scratch.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
This one has given me 500 watts into 8 ohms.
Yep.
Using this power supply.
Right.
Using that power supply.
And that's an off-the-shelf for 2,
It's
eh?
an off-the-shelf from China.
A few mods, or?
No, it puts out a bit too high voltage. The range says here 42 to 58 volts.
Yep.
But this one is labelled as at 55, but it's up near 59, 60.
Okay.
So I've either got to drop this down somehow, or change the sensing diodes here for voltage.
Right, so just close up on that.
Yeah.
So again, this is done in KiCad, a mixture of through-hole. And when you do a via, so it's hard to focus on one ear, but when you do a via, you just put wire through, because you don't have through-plating hole facilities here, obviously.
Yeah.
So you just go a wire through and solder at both ends, and that's your via. Via, however you want to say it.
And there's another single-channel one.
Right, and that's another from scratch build, eh?
Yeah.
So you can see the difference there in the liquid tin and the copper. That's got a conformal coat, so it hasn't tarnished. But yeah, the liquid tin helps you achieve that as well, and looks a bit cooler. So that's just a single channel version of that one, is it?
Yeah.
Right. So exactly the same thing, just single channel. And that's the output device controller down there. What do you call them?
That's your actual chopper and whatever.
That's your driver, and then that's your FETs that do the actual switching.
They're the actual power devices here.
Yeah. So there you go. These, I guess they're probably preferable because I find that the gate drivers tend not to go obsolete as quickly as the monolithics. They seem to have like a 3 to 5 year life cycle, and then you're pretty well fucked if you've got one of those.
These ones, the 8954.
Yep.
I think you're going to be struggling to get those as well.
They're already obsolete.
I think they are, but I've got about 5 or 6 stuck on the shelves.
Yeah, so that's going to be the joy with all the Class D stuff out at the moment. Basically, you can only sort of consider it a 3 to 5 year old amp.
When I bought those, they were about $12 each.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? Yeah. You'd think you'd be paying that just for the heatsink.
Yeah. No, that wasn't $12. That chip.
The chip was.
The TD895.
So what was this worth, the module?
That was about $45.
45, okay. Still pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. But it didn't work.
Yeah.
Not the way it was expected to work.
Well, the vast majority of people probably plug them in and it puts out signal, so they're happy and they don't complain.
Yeah. See, these are the diodes that were missing off that thing.
Right.
They're the flowback protection diodes.
Okay. Because the inductor would give it a kickback, would it?
Yeah. So, but also I'm using heavy-duty bloody spade connectors and...
Jesus, they're monsters.
Yeah.
I just realised how big they are. What are they, ½ inch?
Yeah, oh, no, half inch high probably, but probably only, I don't know.
It's like at least 8 mil.
8 mil wide probably, yeah.
Cool.
But, yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like...
don't be frightened of surface mount.
Just a bit of experimentation. Let's see how much power we can get out of this little chip.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
So,
Yeah.
the trouble with linear supplies is that even though this is a big hefty 600 VA transformer, with no load on the voltage, or no load on it, the voltage is too high to
fluctuate.
It will actually trip the protection on the
Oh,
board.
right.
So
that's one of the advantages of switch mode, because you've got the feedback. Yeah.
So,
That's right, you just got to be really quick on the variac, eh? With your spare hand while you're playing bass.
but, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, it's...
Well, even Mark bass that you're selling is pretty impressive too for
the power density is just nuts, but yeah, the obsolescence is an issue with the monolithic chips, but hey, that's, you're paying $400 or $500 for a, you know, 500 watt amp.
Yep.
You can't expect it to last forever.
No.
You want that, you kind of got to go with the old school stuff, and that's becoming harder to find now too. You can't, the only option is second hand. Yeah. Anyway, it's the state of the art.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all the fixing hardware you could ever want.
All the what?
All the fixing hardware you could ever need. And a little Fleetwood radio hiding behind there.
Yeah.
You got to do to that again and rewind a IF transformer.
I've got some IF trainees.
Right.
Somehow, somewhere.
We'll figure it out. They're more important tools. Big beach rod. So, tell us about your hi-fi gear.
Well,
Start from the left. JVC.
the old JVC, I bought that back in about 1970, 76 I suppose it was, 74 I think.
She's in good nick. Nothing impresses me more than a good condition cover.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Barely a scratch on her.
Yeah, just a,
You had an Autofon blue in there, didn't you?
yeah, it's a blue and nude stylus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
You seen what they're worth?
yeah.
I got to replace one on a customer's turntable.
About $350.
Yeah, it's like you may as well buy the cartridge.
Well, that's about 500 if you don't get a discount.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Beautiful cartridge though.
Yeah.
And
One of the records I gave him here.
yeah,
Hiatus Coyote.
yeah, the poor old boxes are happy with what they're doing, but we've got to do something with the finish of them.
So what are we running?
That's
That's a scan speak, wouldn't it?
no, it's not a scan speaker. It's a SB acoustic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a tweeted little handle, about 100 watts RMS.
Right.
I can't remember the model number.
You got the mid-range.
That's a CS 5-inch mid-range.
Yep.
It'll handle 300 watt peaks.
Oh, I've got to do some dusting.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's got its own enclosure and own port to the back of the box.
Right.
The box is all fully braced with plywood bracing, and I could create a library on that by itself.
Yeah.
And the SB acoustic woofers, they're 200 watt RMS woofers. It will travel probably around about, I think it's about 28 mil.
Shit.
Yeah.
Almost fully 6 subwoofers, bro.
Yeah, it's got double magnets, so that's how they get the travel.
What have we tuned it to?
324 on the crossover from the woofer to the mid.
Yep.
And
I meant the port.
Oh, the port, that's down around about 20 hertz, I think.
20 hertz, bloody hell.
Yeah. The crossover on the mid to high is about 33.
Right.
3300 hertz.
And it's just another one of them over there.
Yeah.
Mine with the missus watching Pitch Perfect.
Each speaker's got its own amplifier. So there's triamp. There's the 3 amplifiers on the bottom.
That's a Playmaster. That was a Electronics Australia, was it? Project?
No, I think it might have been
Or
ETI.
ETI?
ETI,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So Playmaster was one of those brands that produced several different designs of kits, made the boxes, silk screen front panels, all that shit, and then it was sold through JCO, which is a electronics rip-off store here in Australia. Cambridge Audio preamp. That's is that got storage built in?
No.
Okay, so that's just network.
Purely a network streamer.
Network streamer, yeah.
And it does a bit of extra chopping up to smooth things out even further.
Right, so that's got DSP and stuff built in, does it?
Yeah.
Right.
We've got a 200 watt channel down the bottom here.
Start from the bottom up, yep.
200 watts RMS.
That's the other Playmaster.
Yeah. And these are Chinesium bell modules in my boxes.
Yeah.
And they will produce around about 150 RMS.
And that's
each
each
channel.
And you're using the Cambridge as a crossover.
No, the crossover.
Oh, you got the crossover built in that.
There we go.
Oh shit, it's no cover on it. Beautiful.
There's my. That was once again the latest one I've done with KiCad.
Right, so again, surface mount, all round.
Yeah.
You got low tolerance caps and stuff in here too.
Yeah.
1%ers.
Yeah, 2% only.
2%ers. That just won't do.
Yeah. So
Does that motorised thing still work?
it does, but I don't use it
Alright.
anymore.
And that's the original board there, isn't it?
Original preamp.
From the kit.
And the other thing I did was my high quality magnetic preamp is there.
Yep.
That's using 2% caps as well.
So that's a phono preamp.
Yeah, that's when I had to tailor that to fit the connectors at the back of the unit.
Right.
So yeah,
Again,
another
that's
job.
more surface mount, was it?
Yeah, also it's mount.
You love surface mount.
Yeah.
Some people won't touch it.
It's good.
So here she is. She's got a figured maple neck, ebony fretboard. It's all handmade in the garage. Got
Greg's guitar garage.
yeah, in the old garage before the shop. This has got a bit of flecking in the ebony there, which I think looks really cool. I don't understand why people stain it black. Let it speak for itself. Abalone inlays, jumbo frets. I think these might have even been stainless frets from memory. I've got it written down somewhere. Black pick guard. We've got a red ironbark top, which doesn't do it any favours in the weight department, but does look pretty cool. Goto hardware. And Goto black machine heads up there, which were friggin' impossible to find this time 2 years ago when I built it. And we've got a one-piece mahogany body blank. Body. So no glue joins. It's one big fat piece of mahogany. And then a thin two-part poly finish on it. So you can see, a bit hard to see on the camera, it doesn't look as obvious, but a bit of figuring there in the neck. She's a little bit chunky, the neck. We might shape it a little bit further one day and respray it. Oh, they were Shayla machine heads. Yeah, they were the only ones you can get in black. I don't think you can get the Gotos in black. That was an issue. So yeah, it was fun doing this thing last minute on 2019 when the whole country was on fire. But we got there in the end. We opted for no through hole for the strings because we didn't want to disturb that nice looking piece of mahogany there. I was very tempted to steal this blank and make myself an SG, but you won. So I guess we bored everyone enough.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? We've got our, it's pretty warm.
Being New Year's Eve, it's quite a warm day.
New Year's Eve, it's what, about 4 o'clock? 5:45.
Yeah,
Time's flying.
Yeah.
We've got our hang loose juice.
Yeah.
It's probably backwards because of the stupid phone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's very tasty, by the way.
Does the job. So we're just chilling out until you go back to the onslaught on Monday? Well, I do, you don't.
No, I'll go back to doing some painting and renovation and really
fixing all my radios.
Yeah, and the Bryston. We'll get back out on it.
Bryston, yeah.
Get started on the Bryston. So,
yeah, well, what we've got to do now is encourage him to record his own bloody videos. You got a phone, you can do it. This is just recorded on the phone. Anyway, we'll leave yous. Yeah. Thanks for watching, champions. Happy New Year.
Yep.
And
best to all of you.
We'll see you back at the home bench, eh? Take it easy.
Thanks a lot.